Welcome, Leo. It's your Taurus Super New Moon 1 month forecast for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon across the 16th, 17th of May, depending on where you live. The new moon in Taurus, where she's in her exaltation, provides a backdrop energy for the following month. But what will it mean for you personally, Leo? We can talk about lunations in a general way, but we do need to look at each individual event on its own merits. I'm going to unpack all of this for you by the end of the video. You'll have a clear understanding of what's in store around your energy, work, relationships, and finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. So on the screen is your event chart, and there's the sun and the moon at 25 degrees and 57 in the sign of Taurus. Let's just go through those Tauran archetypes. It's the second zodiac sign. It's very much about life foundations. It's earthy, it's fixed, so it has a degree of continuity in its approach. It can be about our values, our sense of self-worth, but also our approach to everyday money. But for you, the sign of Taurus is very much about your connection to the world. And therefore, this is a new moon, which gives you a chance to raise your profile over the next month, to think about your goals and ambitions, your work, if you have your own business, about how you can reach influential people or widen your audience. But if you're more of a creative, it can also be a time when your natural charisma can shine brightly. New moons are an opportunity to set our intentions, aren't they? But this one you can see has Mercury, the planet of communication, in the mix. So close to the sun and the moon, it's in a conjunction. We also have Jupiter, the planet of faith, optimism, and hope, in a lovely sextile to the moon and the sun too. So how do we unpack all of this for you, Leo? Well, firstly, the combination of the sun and the moon, where they essentially complement each other. The sun's very much about our core, and the moon much more to do with nurture. But they're in the third decan of the sign of Taurus, which is subruled by the steady eddy of the zodiac Saturn. So that's very much about being practical, hardworking, and applied. But Saturn also asks us to structure things. So if you are wanting to be more dynamic as far as your hopes around ambitions are concerned, it's not just about having that hope, it's the plan and how you go about achieving them. So Mercury in the 10th house can definitely give you the analysis and the precision and the communicational skills, but the Saturnian energy is asking you not to rush the process. So if there is something you're really excited about, it's still really important to have it all worked out in a way, not that necessarily will get you the reward as quickly as you would like, but does eventually get you the reward. So it's very much to do with strategy as much as setting that intention. But Jupiter, the planet of hope and good fortune, has been for the last 11 months deep diving in your situation, urging you really to become much more aware of the deeper motives you have, and perhaps understanding uh, some of the things you do and others do in a more profound way. But if you are doing research or you're talking to people behind the scenes, taking soundings, that can all be just as fortunate and helpful to you as what you do in a more obvious upfront way, which comes from 10th house energy. Now, what's really going to help you on this event in a fantastically potent way, Leo, is Mars. Mars is the planet of passion and action, and in its home sign of Aries, it's really been pushing you to go for it over the last near to 6 weeks. But Mars is in a glorious link to the ruler of the sign of Taurus, Venus, and that's in the part of your chart to do with the way you collaborate with people. So it's not just about your talent, your idea, the quality of your projects or business. It's about how you go about it, how well you plan it, but then it's also about people skills. And I think that this event is particularly potentially fortunate for you in terms of being on the front foot, not waiting for life to come to you. It's about getting in touch with people. You're very skilled at working with people. Have total faith in what you're trying to do because you can see Mars is in a conjunction with Chiron. If there's any part deep within you that has a sense of inhibition because you didn't get that qualification, because you don't feel you have that experience, or you feel that you don't really belong in a more visible situation. Mars is linked to Chiron, gives you the encouragement to break beyond that, to not be held back by that self-limiting thinking. Now, I'm going to summarize those four areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next. But just to say, you can download my free uh, moon factoid. It tells you all about the science, the astronomy, the astrology, the mythology. Also gives you some work book questions to go through. That's free underneath this video. But I've slashed the price of my personal horoscope reports. They're now three for the price of one. You get your life roadmap report, which helps us to understand the patterns that are played out in our lives so far, get a more intimate understanding of what they are and how to work with them. And free, you get your 12 months transit forecast, but also your draconic soul karmic analysis, three for the price of one. The more I do this, and I've been doing this 30 years, the more than ever I become convinced that natal astrology is what really helps us to navigate this life journey best of all. Please see below for more. If you'd like to work with me directly, it would be a pleasure. Please check out my testimonials below. And if you've yet to take advantage of my free daily written horoscope, fired to your device each morning for your early day celestial pit stop, that's below too. So to summarize, when it comes to ambitions, I actually feel this can be a really excellent new moon for you. Not only is the moon in her exaltation, she's really comfortable in Taurus, but combining your ambition with achieving tangible results is possible with a good plan. So you're really being asked to structure things or do deep research. But it can be a case of your personality power and courage linking out to people, which does bring those new professional opportunities your way. When it comes to your love life, Pluto continues on that seventh house cusp and it's linking to Uranus. If you are footloose and fancy three, that's intriguing. You may encounter someone completely out of nowhere. It could move really quick. Or there could be someone you already know, Venus and Mars, who's truly exciting you. If you're in an existing relationship and you and your partner are good friends, I think your relationship can strengthen through this event, especially if you feel that they're really in your corner about what you're wanting to do to convert your passion and talent into achieving greater recognition. As far as neat energy is concerned, it is true that Jupiter in the 12th house is a very psychological placement for Jupiter, but the more you can embrace self-knowledge and awareness, the more your physical vitality will increase. Thank you so much for joining me, Leo. Wishing you all the best and look forward to seeing you again soon.